Okay, so thank you for joining me this evening. I'm hoping this is something that can really bring benefit to you like it has me and many others who I've shared with and other people have shared with, because it has literally it's changed my life, not just my personal life, but also my professional life with working with animals. And I really hope that this is something that can help everyone who's joining this evening, because it's something that everyone needs to know about. And the people that really take it on board are the ones that have really transformational changes with everything that's going on. So a little bit about me. Firstly, anything that I talk about tonight is, you need to take this with, I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a veterinarian. Anything that I talk about is related to doTERRA essential oils, and I will cover that later as to why that is. But nothing that I talk about is to replace any veterinary or medical advice that is given. So just make sure that you take things on with that disclaimer in place as well. That's really important. So this evening I'm going to cover what essential oils are, why you use them, how can you use them, and then for those that are interested, where you can get them as well. So I want to cover those topics to give you a bit of an overview. So it's going to be a real overview of what benefits they can bring you, also the animals that you're working with and your clients as well. So this is me. I have been in the animal industry for close to 15 years now. I started working with horses back in 2001. I can't remember exactly when it was. And through that time, I've worked in a pet store. I've worked in a boarding kennel. I also started my own business where I was doing mobile grooming, just pet sitting and dog walking. I then opened my grooming salon in 2007, my first grooming salon exclusively with dogs. I travelled to United States in 2011 to study cat grooming and became the first certified feline master groomer in Australia in 2011. And since then I opened a second store, and as of last year I sold my dog grooming salon and have gone feline exclusive. So over the course of nearly 16 years in the animal industry, I have come across multitudes of, I guess, personalities and the people who are working in the animal industry. And as a boss, I've also seen the struggles that people have. And I also am someone who has personal struggles as well, that kind of thought that I was okay with most things, but it's really recently I've realised that there's some things that I struggle with too, but probably not as extreme as a lot of the other people that I've come in contact with. But I certainly do need support with things as well. So as far as using essential oils go, I was using them before becoming aware of doTERRA. I was actually using them just in my salon to try and get rid of the doggy smell. I was using them in the washing machine, and I had an oil burner and put some lavender and things in there to try and keep the doggy smell down. By the way, grooming cats, you don't tend to get as much doggy smell, which is great, just for anyone out there wanting that information. So I wasn't really aware of any other benefits that essential oils could have apart from, making things smell nice, and they were in a lot of the products that were available that we were using. I was very conscious of using all natural products in my salon, because I do know what kind of impact the chemical-laden products that we often get in the animal industry can have detrimental effects on our health and also the animals as well. So I was aware of that, and I wanted something that was a more natural approach. And then I was introduced to doTERRA from my sister when my daughter had the really cute one on my lap in the photo. She was about 10 months old and had croup, and I'd never experienced that with my son before, and so I didn't really know what to deal with that with or how to use it. I had heaps of natural products and didn't really know anything that was going to help that. And nothing that I had in my cupboard was really going to help. So I asked my sister if she had anything. She sent some oils over, and I used them with my daughter and got amazing results really quickly. And it was nothing like I'd experienced before with any of the other natural products I'd been using. And from then I started to use them daily in my life to help support me and my kids. And then I started to actually think, wait a second, can I use these essential oils that are giving us dramatic changes in things with the animals and my staff in my salons? Because as most of you who work with animals would probably know, we have a very high pressure job. We're often emotionally impacted by a lot of things that happen, and my staff particularly would get overwhelmed with things, and I'd have overwhelming times too, especially this time of year when in a grooming salon it's high pressure. We had retail as well, so it was a very high pressure time. And we started to use the oils in our salon and discovered that when we were using them daily and using, like, a lot of my staff actually have now, they've started using oils as their main support as well. And as we were using them daily in the salon and also at home, we started to get a dramatic difference in the whole, I guess, atmosphere and environment in the salon, where the animals would start to respond to us differently because our emotions were supported and we were a lot calmer. The whole environment was calmer. Everything was kind of almost like a little Zen bubble. Not to say that nothing ever came up that was, crazy. We'd still get those angry dogs and we'd get crazy cats, but it was a lot less often, and a lot of the time it didn't spiral out to all the animals that were in our care. So it started to give us a very calmer environment that was a lot more stable, and it really helped us as groomers to be able to deal with what was going on. And the turning point for me, honestly, and why I now want everyone to know about this, is one of my staff members, she struggled a lot with a lot of anxiety issues, a lot of feeling overwhelmed with everything. And she came into work one day, it was about this time of year, so in the middle of exams and also high pressure in a grooming salon. And I felt her energy as she came in, and she was looking, really tight and stressed. Her shoulders were up, her face was drawn. She was not coping really well with, and this is at the start of the day. So I, as the crazy new oil loving person, said, here's some wild orange. Apparently that's really good to help with calming you down when you're feeling anxious. Put a drop on your feet and see how it goes. And because I'm just an awesome boss, she did what I said. But what happened was I experienced the change in her. So I actually saw her dramatically change in about 10 to 15 minutes. I saw the change when I looked back at her from the other side of the salon. And I felt the change too. Her shoulders had gone down. She was smiling. She was a lot more relaxed. It hadn't fixed everything. There was still elements there, but it had really made a dramatic change for her. And it made it really clear to me that this is something that can be really beneficial to people working with animals, because I know a lot of us have anxiety issues. We get quite anxious with what's going on. We get overwhelmed with situations. We're very caring people. That's why we work with animals. We really want to be, looking after them. We want the best for them and want to make sure that they are getting the best and that we can give the best for them as well. So introducing them into the salon just made a dramatic change for me. And that day in particular was a turning point for me. And that's why I actually now share with everyone. So hopefully you'll get something out of this that will maybe even be just something you've been looking for a long time, to help not just if you're in a grooming salon, whether you're, I've got people that are groomers, pet sitters, vets, what else? Pet photographers. I'm trying to think of all the people that I've helped along the way. So it's not limited to just, a groomer in a salon. I've got mobile groomers that are using the oils as well. All sorts of people are using them and finding dramatic results. So hopefully this will inspire you to see that there is something else there that may be able to help. So what's an essential oil? Basically, an essential oil, some people think it's like a smelly hippie thing that just kind of changes the aroma in the room, and it goes a lot deeper than that. So an essential oil is a natural medicinal compound found in plants, so that can come from multiple sources in the plants, and different oils will come from different parts of the plants, whether it's flowers, roots, bark, resin, sticks, the fruit and rind and things like that as well. And we are actually able to get the medicinal compounds from the plants extracted directly from them in a very high potent manner that we can then use for ourselves and use them the way the plants would use them to protect and support themselves. And because it's natural, we're able to use them for ourselves, and our body understands it. And there's very safe, powerful benefits when you're using them as well. So this is a picture of a peppermint leaf on the left-hand side for those people that can see. I know that there's some people that are joining us on the phone. So the peppermint leaf is what you would expect to see, and then the zoomed in picture you can see is a really close look at what the essential oil sacs are. So they're very minute, and then the steam distillation just gets those essential oils to raise to the top, and we can capture all the medicinal compound of the plant and use it for our benefit. So when you're using oils, it's really important to remember that they're highly potent. They are a natural product, so they're very safe, but you need to treat them with caution like you would any other kind of medicinal product that you're using. So 1 drop of peppermint oil is the equivalent of having 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you're getting a high amount of support from that 1 drop. It's really powerful, and it's going to be 50 to 70 times more powerful than the herb that it's actually come from because it's so concentrated. So when you are using them, always use caution. Use the smallest dosage possible. So use 1 drop, see how that's supporting you or the animal or the clients. Using them for your clients is great, having a really calm environment for them. And then you can always increase that by adding another dosage 5-10 minutes later if you need to, rather than using like a whole bottle of peppermint because you're feeling like you need to wake up. So, and that's a really important thing to remember, because some people go a little bit heavy-handed when they first start, not realising that you're getting a huge benefit from a very small amount. So they can be an alternative to synthetic options, and a lot of the time we kind of have been, I guess, indoctrinated since the Western medicine has kind of come in to our way of thinking, that that's what we do, is we reach for something that has been prescribed to us for whatever reason because that's what we know. And we've kind of handed over the, I guess, empowered state where we understand what our body's doing. We've kind of handed that off to someone else. And that is by no means saying that Western medicine is not an important place, has not got an important place in our lives. And it's extremely important to have, you know, veterinary and medical care, because especially in emergency situations and when you're not sure what's going on, it's really powerful to have those available. But sometimes we have kind of given away the empowerment of ourselves and understanding ourselves and even our animals as well. And we no longer understand why our body behaves the way it does. And essential oils have been around for thousands of years, and the use of using them has been, the knowledge of how to use them has been around for thousands of years, and we've just kind of lost that in the time that other medicine has kind of come in. So it's not a new thing. It is something that has been often there's a lot of what are they countries, there we go, that have been using essential oils and just passed them down through generations, and the knowledge of how to use them. Places like India, they use essential oils all the time, daily, and it's really a powerful tool that they do use in their family. So they also have the ability to address problems versus masking the symptoms, so you can really get in there and help with getting to the cause of what's going on, rather than using a band-aid approach and just dealing with the symptoms that are coming up. And you can take a real informed approach to your self-care and start to use things that can support you alongside Western medicine. They work really well and they're complementary. And you will find that a lot of vets and doctors are actually using essential oils in their practices because of the benefits of them. So the benefits with your essential oils is they can actually penetrate the cell. They're lipid soluble, so that means that they can pass through the cell membrane and can support your body's ability to fight off things that are internal to your cell, that often if you go to the doctor, they'll tell you to go home, have bed rest and fluids because there's nothing you can do. So in this situation with essential oils, there is something that can support your body's immune system and its ability to fight things off. It can also cross the blood-brain barrier and help with cognitive function and focus and things like that. So even this evening before starting, I have had a bit of a brain fog kind of day where things have just been, I had lack of sleep last night. And so before starting this evening, I've used some frankincense and peppermint because they help your, peppermint's great for helping you feel awake, and frankincense helps take it into your brain as very calming as well. So it helps to keep me calm but also alert. And I've used spearmint and wild orange to support me with getting my words out as well. So there's really great ways to be able to use them. They're very effective. So plants will use essential oils to help fight off things like mold, fungus, viruses, and bacteria. And like I mentioned earlier, because it is a natural product that comes from the plants, our body understands how to use it. And we can use the plant's defense mechanism to our benefit and help us to support us as well. And each plant has different things that it can support you with. And it's not just one thing it can do. Every plant has multiple abilities to support you, which is really powerful, because one bottle of lavender can help with, 50 to 100 different things. So it's really beneficial to have on hand. As far as the cost goes, looking at the actual dollar value, you're talking cents per drop. And we talked before about using just one drop. You're literally using 1 to 3 drops. If you're using them in a diffuser, maybe 3 drops at a time, maybe 4 or 5. And they can be, 5, 10, 15, 20 cents a drop that you're using each time. I've used some lemon in my water to help soothe my throat as I'm talking tonight, and that's cost me 5 cents. And then when you compare that with how it can support your immune system, your emotions as well, you've also got the guilt if you're, if you're a self-employed groomer like I am, and you're sick and you can't get into work, you've got the guilt of having to move everyone, the stress and all this kind of stuff that comes with it. And you can count that cost into it as well if you're able to use something that will effectively support your immune system and keep you going, or even help you get less stressed through the day when you're at work. Those are the things that come into the equation when you're talking about the cost as well. And if there was something that could help you improve and support your health and well-being that was safe, affordable, and effective, would you use it? And I often ask this when I'm teaching classes and workshops with people, and everyone says yes, because we're looking for something that is safe. These days we're bombarded with every, prescription of things and all this kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that that is a bad thing to have things prescribed to you. I think it's really important, and in no way am I saying to stop that, or that essential oils can take that away from you. But I'm just saying that to have the ability to be able to support ourselves alongside that is really powerful. So what oils do we use and why? Sorry, I just had a drink. So we actually use doTERRA certified pure therapeutic grade oils, and there is a reason for that. So CPTG, which is certified pure therapeutic grade, is a trademark that doTERRA has created themselves, because there's no regulation in the essential oil industry. So when you go and look at using essential oils, you might go, okay, I'm just going to use, like I was just using any lavender when I was using them in my washing machine and in my oil burner before I knew better. And I was like, I wasn't actually a big fan of lavender, because it really made me think of old people and potpourri and kind of a grandma smell, because a lot of them are synthetic. There's no regulation in the essential oil industry. So if you are using a bottle of lavender and it says pure essential oil on there, that doesn't actually mean anything, because there's no regulations, and they can say what they want on the label, but what's in the bottle isn't necessarily what they've said is on the label. Or that pure, what does that actually mean? So with a lot of the oils that you can get as well, they'll often say something like 1% pure essential oil, and then they'll have multi-purpose liquid or something like that. And there's often synthetics and extra things in there that can be quite toxic, not only to you, but if you're using them with animals, they do get affected by the synthetics a lot more than we do because they're smaller, and it affects their system really intensely. So that's something to be aware of, that you've got a duty of care of using high quality things when you're using them with other animals as well. And the certified pure therapeutic grade with doTERRA is they're 100% natural. It means that there is absolutely nothing else in that bottle of lemon or lavender or peppermint or whatever it is that you're using, but the oil that is supposed to be in there. There's no fragrance, there's no fillers, there's no synthetics, nothing. They're very safe, so there will be no traces of pesticides. It's actually a higher grade than organic, because organic only needs to be 95 to 98% organic components, whereas doTERRA needs to be 100% safe and certified that way to be sold from doTERRA. And they won't actually sell something that has any traces of anything, or it's not potent enough. So you want your bottle of lavender if you're feeling really stressed, or you're wanting to calm down an animal that's in the salon or wherever with you. You want a lavender that's got those compounds in there that are known to be calming. So, excuse me. So that's the difference that you get with the CPTG. And it's kind of a comforting thing. Particularly, I use these a lot with my children and also with me. And I am highly sensitive to synthetics. I walk through places like Dusk or the Maya perfume section, and it just gives me a headache almost immediately. So I know that those synthetic things are causing trouble to my lungs. It's affecting me. It's obviously not great because I get a headache immediately. So, and in the animal industry, there is so many chemical-based things that we're using, even the shampoos. And when you're washing dogs or whatever, the vapors are coming up and you're breathing those in. And that might be fine for the dog or the cat that you're washing, because they're getting it once every week or 6 weeks or whatever, but you're doing 6, 8, 10, 12, whatever animals a day, and you're breathing that in and also getting it in on your skin, and that you start to get this toxic overload as well. And then if you've got your cleaning products as well that are also impacting you, it can be a real toxic load on your system. And that's when you start to get people getting things like eczema, having asthma, breathing difficulties. You can get all sorts of endocrine issues as well, because the synthetics will affect your endocrine system and can be quite toxic for you. So it's really important that you make choices about the products that you're using to support you and also the animals as well. So doTERRA source their oils from all over the world. They're very different in their approach, and they want to source the oils from the place that the plant would grow best indigenously or naturally. So for example, in Australia, they source tea tree and eucalyptus because we have the environment that this plant grows the best. We've got the best soil, environment, everything that comes together to make it. That's why it's native here. So they'll source from all over the world at the place that's going to get the best compounds as well. For example, they source or they get cardamom oil, which is great for respiratory and digestive support. And the 3 places that you can source cardamom from were tested by doTERRA before they chose where they source from. One of the countries had the results came back that the support for respiratory was high and digestion was low. The other country had high digestion and low respiratory support. And when they got their results from Guatemala, the cardamom was high digestive and high respiratory. So you're getting an oil that's not just a cardamom oil, you're getting the highest quality oil that gives you the highest compounds. So you want to have an oil in there that's going to actually do what it's supposed to do and not just smell nice as well. So that's the difference when you're using the oils too. They also have, this is something that's really close to my heart because I am all about sustainability and making sure that the company that I'm supporting is doing the right thing. And part of their sourcing is an initiative that's called Co-Impact Sourcing. And they will work with growers who have been growing these plants for often centuries. Like they've passed down the knowledge through their families on how to grow the plants and how to care for them. And they're often using organic ways of growing. They can't afford the certification in a lot of cases because there's 26 underdeveloped countries that doTERRA source from, and they want to make sure that these countries that they're going to are also being supported outside just the financial side. So essential oils, for a long time, the whole industry has been governed by middlemen who were taking advantage of the growers and not giving them the amount of money that they should be getting for what they're doing and for their crops, and also not paying them on time. They'd often be waiting sometimes years for the payment, and they're getting a pittance for what they're actually doing. doTERRA now works directly with the growers. All the middlemen are cut out, so the growers get a higher, much higher income coming in. They're also able to earn more money if the quality of their crop is better. They are supported with things like, for example, the picture, for those that can see it, on the left-hand side is from Haiti, where they source vetiver, an amazing calming oil that helps with, especially if you know anyone that's suffering from maybe Asperger's or autism, that are struggling with really calming down in situations, or it helps with really deep sleep. So vetiver is a great oil, but they source from Haiti, and the growers in Haiti used to have to walk 3 hours a day just to get water. And so doTERRA installed a well with the community so that the whole community would benefit from it. And this is just one thing. They're also doing, there's Days for Girls, which is an initiative that helps women in these underdeveloped countries to be able to be part of the community when they're going through their monthly cycle, because in a lot of cases they would be ostracized from the community and made to go away for a week. They're teaching them about hygiene and providing them with packages that they can use as well, reusable packages, which is great. But they'll put things like nursing abilities, like medical centres, schools, all sorts of things. They'll support the growers in that way with what is needed in that area. And a lot of the growers are now coming and finding doTERRA because a lot of the treatment that they've had before has been really quite low, and they're coming in droves to be part of what doTERRA is doing, because it's literally changing the world outside of essential oils. It's so much bigger than essential oils. So that's why it's such a big thing for me that this company is one that I'm supporting, because this is something that just makes my heart feel amazing, that my use of vetiver is not just supporting a company, it's supporting a whole country. So it's really powerful. So why do you think so many vets and doctors are now using and recommending essential oils? And when I do this class with people in person, the answer is because they work. And I've got books here that I often read from vets that are using them to help keep their animals calm, their clients calm. So one of them uses frankincense on their hands just before doing a consult with any of the dogs or cats or anything that comes through. And they'll just put a drop of frankincense in their hand and give the animal a bit of a rub, like just a really slow massage before doing anything, because it's a really calming oil and helps keep the animals calm, but it's also working on the person who's applying the frankincense to themselves, because it helps to calm them down as well, to get them in that really calm sense. And if anyone knows Dr. Karen Becker, who is through McCullough Pets, I don't know whether I've got the picture in here. I think it's later when I talk about lavender. But she was told for years to use a drop of lavender in the front of any wildlife that was brought on into her veterinary clinic to help calm them down before approaching them or doing anything with them. And we do that in our salon. We'll put any animals that are coming in that are stressed. We did this in the dogs and the cats as well. Any that was stressed and not really coping for whatever reason, we would put a drop of lavender on a cotton ball and sit it in their crate and give them 5-10 minutes before we actually did anything with them, to allow them to have some relief from the lavender too. And we also found now that, because we diffuse the oils as well and we're using them to support us, we're in a lot calmer situation through our life. And so when the animals come in, we're already calm and they pick up on our energy. So it's really important to not just look at this as a Band-Aid approach to supporting these crazy animals when they come in, you want to kind of keep them calm. You need to be looking at how you can support yourself and getting you emotionally balanced as well, because that is when things really started to shift for us in our salon. And things changed because we were all using them at home and also using them daily in the salon. And the people who have tried using the oils and they're like, oh, I've got a crazy cat or a crazy dog and the lavender didn't work, because they've put a drop with the animal, but they're still really stressed because they're not really actively doing this as a preventative model of care as well as in the moment. So look at it that way. If you're using them to support you for what you're dealing with, you're going to get amazing results when you start to establish it that way as well. So these are just some of the reasons that vets will use the oil. So on the left-hand side, why they would use them: they're safe. This is taken from a study that was done in the US of natural holistic vets who were using essential oils. And this is in 2011, so it is a while ago. And in 5 years, I would expect that a lot more vets are actually using essential oils because there's a lot more research with them. But the things that they were doing were they're safe, effective, and research supported. They increased treatment options. They were great for behavioural and emotional benefits as well. And there's heaps of different things through there. And on the top of the right-hand side, a lot of them, if you see, the first thing was for behavioural problems, anxiety, calming, aggression, and relaxation. So these are one of the top things that the oils can help with. But then you can move on to things like, and when you're looking at this, obviously this is working with animals, but anything that they're saying here that they're using them for animals can actually be used for humans as well. So any behavioural problems, like whether you're anxious, needing calm, if you get cranky as well, you can use oils to help you with that. One time that it became really apparent to me how much I use these oils to support me was I had a customer who had left a message on my phone saying, I need you to call me because my cat has come out in a rash after grooming and I've spent $300 at the vet, blah, 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 blah. So automatically I'm anxious, going, oh my goodness, I hate confrontation, to put that in there. And I was freaking out to make this phone call because I often don't respond well in the moment with what I need to say. So I start to panic that, okay, I've got someone who's cranky, which doesn't happen very often. So when it does, I'm not practiced in how to actually talk to them properly. And so I took my wild orange, which is great for helping with those anxious moments, like the same oil that I use with my staff member. And I just put a drop in my hands, rubbed them together and inhaled. And I did that for about 2 to 5 minutes before making the phone call. And I could feel myself relaxing. I then added a drop of lavender as well. And I just did that to help support me before having to talk to them. I ended up having an answering machine, so I didn't have to talk to her in person, which was great. But yeah, it was something I could feel myself changing. And it's really powerful to know that I had something I could go to that could help support me in a situation. It wasn't my fault, nothing I'd done, but I was going straight to that, oh my goodness, I'm freaking out, I've got to talk to an angry customer type thing. So you've got them there to support with all different things. So using the oil safely with animals is important. This is Dr. Melissa Shelton. She's a vet in the US, and she has a book that I've got in front of me that's called the Animal Desk Reference book. And it is huge, and it's got all her research about using therapeutic grade essential oils with animals. And basically when she talks, what she's saying here is the difference with this, using the oils safely, because you will hear a lot of controversy about using oils with animals. A lot of it comes down to the quality of the oil that you're using. So if you're using a lavender that you've just bought from anywhere that just says pure oil, rather than a certified pure oil, like a doTERRA grade oil, if you're using the two different ones, that toxicity level is going to be dramatically different between something that you don't know what's in that bottle compared to a pure therapeutic grade oil. So that's when you start to get toxicity issues, especially when you're working with animals, and you need to be cautious about that when you are doing it. There's certain oils to avoid when working with animals. But these, again, Dr. Shelton, who I referenced before, has used all of these type of oils around her dogs and her cats giving them the ability to be able to move away from them. So I will still diffuse like citrus oils in my salon, but I'm not doing it in a very small, closed off environment that, you know, in their crate and shutting them up so that that's all that they can smell. I'm doing it for my benefit to keep me calm, and also in my waiting area as well. But we're using them in a way that is not going to overwhelm the animals. If you're using them at home for your own pets, make sure they've got the ability to move away from them if they want to. So cats actually lack an enzyme that will break down some of the components in essential oils. So I never use topically on cats at all. You can in acute situations, but you really need to use informed choice when you're doing that. Don't just go and say, okay, you know, wild orange is great to calm me down. My cat's going crazy, I'm going to put some wild orange on them. So no, don't do that. And you start to learn these things along the way, and there's lots of resources available that can help you. So for dogs, similar type things, anything that's high phenol or what's the other word? I can't remember what it is. There's different components of the oils that will help with keeping them safe as well when they're using them. And if you're not sure, don't put things on topically onto them. And when it says use with caution tea tree, a lot of that comes from toxicity from non-pure oils and using them in a dilution ratio that is not high enough, as in using half a bottle of tea tree on a dog compared to using 1 drop in a carrier oil, like an oil that helps to dilute down the oil. We don't dilute in water. You dilute in a carrier oil like coconut oil, almond oil. Fractionated coconut oil is a great one that doTERRA has that will not go solid. So if you've got normal coconut oil, it'll go rock hard. Fractionated coconut oil doesn't do that, so it's a great one to use. So it does come down to informed use of how to use them when you are doing them with on animals as well. So and this is also the same with humans as well. Caution with animals, anyone that's pregnant, any prone to seizures, any medical issues, just use caution. And in most cases with how we're using them, in a lot of cases you're using 1 drop that's probably diluted as well, or you're putting it on a cotton ball, and we're not actually doing it directly onto an animal. And in the years that I've been using this, I have never had a negative reaction to any of the oils that I've used with the animals or with my staff or anything like that. So if you see any symptoms that aren't looking great, always stop straight away and take to the vet. So how do you use the oils? There's multiple ways to use them. Firstly, you can see this picture here is a cat on the left-hand side. That's one of the cats that was anxious coming into my salon. And normally I would put a drop on a cotton ball and sit it in their crate before I start. This cat wasn't showing signs of being anxious at all. So I just got it out and started working with the cat, but it was starting to get a little bit cranky. I just opened my bottle of lavender on the bench, and you can see the cat actually started smelling it. And sometimes it just takes 1 sniff and it helps to calm them down. I did give this cat, you know, a little bit of room as well to kind of calm down. But it is just another tool that you can use there that's natural, that helps to keep them supported and you as well. So I will sometimes put a drop on my hands while I'm working, because my warmth will help the oils to kind of be affecting the animals too, or you can put it on your pulse points or your perfume points, and that the animals can smell it that way as well. Their sense of smell is a lot more higher sense than ours, so even 1 drop is plenty to be using with them, and I'm never putting it on the animals. So aromatically is the best way to support emotions. So if you've got an animal that is freaking out anyway, you'd be wanting to get them to smell the oil. Same with you. So if you've got a stressful environment, look at how you can diffuse the oils around you at work, whether you're using a diffuser, and there's lots, I've got people that are mobile groomers as well, pet sitters that will take diffusers with them and help keep the animals calm. The picture on the dog's collar, that's that little heart with the purple thing on the inside for the people that can see that, that's a diffuser pendant, and you can put drops of oil on there, and you can get them for people as well. I actually wear one regularly, and it helps to get the benefits of the oil aromatically that way. On animals, I don't suggest that you keep a diffuser pendant on them at all times with oil on there, because it is overwhelming for them to have that on them all the time and they can't get away from it. So in situations where you've got animals that are anxious about travel or coming to the vet or the groomers or boarding kennels, etc., you can use it in that situation to help keep them calm, but then remove it afterwards so that they, unless they're intensely like having an acute situation, you may leave it on there longer. But that is how you can really support emotional sides of things. And like I mentioned before, if you have got a diffuser going, make sure that if you've got animals in the area, that they have got the ability to get away from anything that's really intense. Like in my grooming salon, it's a fairly large room, so I don't have the concern that it's going to be overpowering for them. I've also got air conditioning going, so it's not a closed off room. It's not getting any extra kind of air coming through. So look at how you can benefit the animals, and if you've already got it going diffused in an area that they're coming into, like boarding kennels will often have the diffusers going to support the animals coming in there, and also the staff. The staff are finding that the animals are calmer when they're in the boarding kennels, and that actually helps to support the staff members because they're not dealing with these crazy animals that are barking all over the place and getting quite anxious, and it's helping to create this really calm environment. So that when you are using the oils aromatically, I mentioned before that originally I was using an oil burner. Oil burners heat the oil and will change the chemical structure. So for one thing, they're dangerous. You've got a naked flame, and they used to get really hot, and at the end you get that really burnt, crusty, goopy stuff that it's disgusting, and it burns onto the oil burner. But it will still give you a smell from the oil, but the therapeutic benefit is diminished. So you're no longer going to get as much calming properties from that lavender that you're using compared to if you were using it in a diffuser. So the diffuser that's here is a petal diffuser from doTERRA, and the way these diffusers work is they use a high ultrasonic vibration that creates a mist and lifts the oil particles with the water inside, and those oil particles then disperse through the air and you're able to breathe them in that way. So it's a really powerful support for any kind of emotions. We would be setting up our diffuser before any animals came in for the day, 15, 20 minutes before we start actually having animals come in, because it sets us up for having a calmer emotional, experience before we're getting the animals coming in. And so the animals are picking up on our energy and getting the energy from us as well as from the support from the oils. So you can also apply directly to the skin, and this is topical. So you can, in all situations, you should be using the oils diluted with a carrier oil. The oils that are put on your skin will often flash off really quickly, so they don't absorb as well into the skin. So using a carrier oil helps them to stay on the skin and penetrate better. When you use topically, you can put onto an area that's needing direct support. So for example, if you're working with animals, you've probably got a sore back from lifting and doing that, because we're normally in a very manual labor type environment. Ice Blue is amazing. It's like, if you've ever heard of deep heat or Denka rub or things like that, it's got that kind of smell. And not only does it give you, some people find it cooling, some people find it heating to your muscles. It's got the components that you'll get from those other kind of synthetic rubs like deep heat and things like that. But it actually has oils in there that help support your muscles and the joints to relieve pain, and also help to regenerate anything that is kind of damaged as well. So there's oils in there that are really powerful to support them. And this oil has been amazing for me. I use it on my back all the time. My husband loves it for when he does exercise and all that kind of stuff. By the way, guys love the oils when they use them, because the oils work really well and really quickly, and guys really want to see results. And so once they start using them, they fall in love with them too. So you can apply to the bottom of your feet. Like I mentioned with my staff member, I said, put a drop of this wild orange on the bottom of your feet. Your feet have the thickest parts of skin on your body, so you're less likely to get any skin sensitivities However, there's also reflexology points on the bottom of your feet that can help the oils to support different parts of your body as well. And when you put the oil on topically, it will get into your bloodstream in 30 seconds, and then it'll be through your whole system in 30 minutes. So it's really a powerful way. Start of the day, I'll put oils on the bottom of my feet for the day. Sometimes I'll reapply later in the day as well. And it gives you the benefits of the oils that way. So you can use them for the animals too. The dog on the bottom left is in the middle of a thunderstorm, and it has a thunder jacket on, plus there's also some lavender that's being applied to the ears as well. So that's a good way to help calm them down. These are pictures of the reflexology points. There's places around your ears and also in your hands that you can get the benefits of the oils and apply them there to support different parts of your body. You can use doTERRA oils internally. This is totally up to you whether you choose to do them this way, because there's lack of education on using them internally. The reason you can use doTERRA internally is because of the quality. They don't have any of those extra synthetics and fillers or anything in there that could be really toxic. It is purely lemon zest oil in your lemon. So you can use that in your water to support you through the day. If you're feeling anxious through the day, you might put wild orange in there, or even some frankincense. You can use oils in your cooking. I use them in my cooking all the time. You can give them to animals internally, but you need to, if you're putting it in their water, make sure that they've got fresh water that has no oil in it that they can also access, so that they're not, if the smell's too much for them, they may not drink water, and that's obviously a bad thing. So if you're using them for yourself in your water, like I use them in my water bottle, if you are using them through the day, make sure you don't put oils in any plastic. Always use glass and stainless steel, because the oils will break down the plastic and you'll start ingesting the petrochemicals. And we've already talked about reducing the toxic load, and you don't want to then be ingesting petrochemicals from your plastic drink bottles. So I use stainless steel. And what it does, it also can help flavour your water. So for those people that are struggling with drinking heaps of water, especially this time of year, if you add some lemon oil, or there's a metabolic blend, Smart and Sassy, that a lot of people will use, it helps curb sugar cravings and manage hunger and all that kind of stuff. Add that to your water, and it gives a bit of flavour, and also helps to support you through the day too, by getting the benefits of the oil. You can also get little empty veggie capsules that you'd normally get like multivitamins in, but they're empty, and you can put drops of oil in there and take them internally to support, your immune system and help fight off all sorts of nasty things that come along as well. So now, one of the most important things in my eyes, especially in the industry that we're in, is using oils for emotional support. Excuse me, just for a second. So like I said at the start, I believe that a lot of people in the animal industry do have emotional issues, and it's not just in the animal industry. I've realized in my time working with a lot of people in the industry that there's a lot of people that are struggling with emotional issues, and not coping in a lot of ways. So essential oils are a really great way to start supporting yourself in daily life, that helps bring a bit more joy around what you're doing, helps you keep on top of things. So when we start using the oils to support what we want to be feeling, rather than just focusing on what we're doing, like this kind of gives you something to try. If you're feeling, like the 4 oils on the right side are known as the mood management oils. And these oils are ones that we would use almost daily in our salon, because we can say, okay, we're feeling like it's just a day that we're just feeling a bit down in the dumps, and it's just, it's just another day and we're a bit bummed out. We might put something like Elevation in and some Citrus Bliss, because those 2 oils are known for lifting your mood, helping you to have a bit of joy, giving you some invigoration and stimulation and motivation to get going. One of the most powerful oils, I believe, is Balance. It's a grounding blend, and I use that daily on my kids, on my children, myself, my husband. We also use that on animals that are, so you get cranky animals, but sometimes you just get crazy animals. Like they're just, they're just kind of flipping out, kind of just not, I don't even know how to, if anyone's ever played Crash Bandicoot and you've seen the Crazy Crash, it's like got its tongue hanging out and its eyeballs are going crazy. It's just, crazy. The balance helps to bring back that sense of being grounded and coping with what's going on and any kind of just crazy behavior. Or it's my temper tantrum tamer for my children. So when they're having a meltdown, that's what we use to help support them. I use it on myself for the same thing. And the lavender piece, I have had moments when I've had to deal with a customer and I've been just getting angry. I've come back out the back after speaking with them and I've been angry, and my staff member has come up to me with lavender piece and said, you need to smell this. And I'll just stand there with the oil under my nose, breathing it in for a couple of minutes, and I can feel that change and that anger just kind of, it goes away. Like I feel a lot calmer, and it's a really powerful thing to know that's really there to help support me. So you can have these tools available to you. And those 4, I think, are essential in the animal industry. I think they're really powerful ones to have, and I think everyone should have them. And once you know how to use them, which comes with experience and you get support when you're using them as well, you will start to know what's the right one to use for you in that situation. So as far as how the oils work aromatically, they enter through your olfactory senses up your nose, through your limbic system, and then start to affect your brain. So you'll find that certain smells will also trigger memories as well. So someone may not like, one story I heard, someone didn't like geranium, the smell of geranium, because a memory they had was coming outside and their grandfather was having a heart attack and it was next to the geranium bush, and it then it made an anchor of that feeling of terror and fear with geranium. And so when they smell that oil, it takes them back to that. And you'll probably have smells as well that you just can't stand because it reminds you of certain things. Like I said, lavender, I used to hate lavender until I tried doTERRA lavender. It doesn't smell anything like old women and potpourri and that kind of old woman smell. So yeah, it is really powerful how you can use the oils to change your mood, and you can also create new memories and new anchors for positive experiences. So if there's something that's really powerfully happy that's happening for you, you can find an oil that you're drawn to in that moment, inhale it and think about that positive thing, and it starts to be a smell that will bring you back to that that moment of feeling joy or whatever, and being excited. So it's a really powerful way to use them. So when you do consider what these oils can do, think about people and animals. You've got rescue animals. I've got heaps of people that are using oils in rescue organisations that are having phenomenal results with the animals. If they've got issues with grooming, whether that's, even staff members who are struggling with grooming because they're getting frustrated or whatever, negative energies, whether it's from the animals or the staff or the clients. My goodness, use these for your clients. It's amazing. The impact that this can have on so many different things, it just brings this real sense of well-being back. And it's a tool that you can use amongst other things that you're doing as well. So who can use essential oils in the animal industry? Basically anyone. Like, you can use them for all sorts of things. And, I've got pet photographers, dog walkers, vets, groomers, boarding kennels, etc. Anyone can use them. And when you start to use them, you'll start to develop more knowledge on how you can use them in different ways too. I didn't know everything I know now when I first started, and I've learnt along the way. And I actually offer a lot more support now because I didn't like not knowing what I could do with them at the start. So there's a lot more available now than there was when I first started. So what I'm going to do now is just cover some oils that I think are really beneficial for people that are working in the animal industry. When I go through this, there's, for those that can see the slides, there are some things that will talk about physical support, but there's also, every oil has an emotional way it will support you as well. So I'm not going to go into depth on every oil that comes up. I'm going to go through them quite quickly because there's heaps of different ones. I'm not covering a heap of them tonight, but there's heaps and heaps of oils with different ways that they can support you as well. So yeah, and you can start to learn about the emotional side of it, which I think is actually a really important, powerful way to start learning about the oils alongside the physical way they support you, because a lot of the physical things that we experience are because of an emotional issue that we're trying to deal with, or whether we're not dealing with it, it presents in a physical way. Whether you're stressed and you're getting run down, that means your immune system's down, you're getting sick all the time. So if you can work on why you're stressed and help to support that, you're less likely to then start getting all those physical things. And that's happened for me as well. I'm not getting as sick as I used to because I'm not getting as run down, except for last night when I was up too late. Anyway, so lavender would be one of the top oils. It's got so many supporting things. It helps with any kind of skin. It's calming, helps with promoting great sleep as well. So if you're struggling with sleep, you can also help to purify surfaces and the skin as well. It's the oil of communication, so it can help if you're struggling with getting your message across, whether you're talking to customers or whatever, your staff, you can use that to help with that. Any kind of anxious feelings, it can help support as well. What I've just got on the screen at the moment comes back from the survey that I quoted at the start of the holistic vets and what they use lavender for. So this is just a small section out of that survey. So things like helping to decrease blood pressure, any kind of skin irritation, infected anal glands, mites. There's so many things it'll support, calming the nervous system. So, you know, vets are using them for a number of different things. And this, I did talk about Dr. Karen Becker previously. And for those that can see this, this is a photo of a dog's paw that has a tumour on one of the toes, and they were looking at having to amputate the toe that had the tumour. However, they use a therapeutic grade lavender oil on this tumour, and in this photo, for those that can't see it, 2 weeks later that tumour had pretty much disappeared and they no longer needed to amputate it. So there's some of the powerful ways that you can use the oils with animals, and that's topically too. Balance is, like I said, we will never run out of this oil, and we wish they did it in gallon drums. Gallon, that's American. Liter drums. We go through a heap of it because we use it for our kids regularly. It helps bring them out of a tantrum. And I'll also use it on the bottom of my feet to start the day and feel really grounded and able to deal with everything that's going on. Use it with those crazy animals as well. Any kind of anxious feelings. We often find that it's the really stressed animals that we often mix lavender and balance together. So you've got the calming and also the grounding together. But this, we often have diffusing as well, because it's great to keep us grounded in that environment. Lavender Peace, it's called Serenity in the US, but Lavender Peace is a blend that does contain lavender, but other oils that are known for calming. And we find that these top 3 oils that I'm talking about are the main ones that we'll use in our salon. And if one isn't giving us results really quickly, we'll often try a different one, 5 or 10 minutes later, because that might be a different reason that animal is needing some support. So also a great one for sleep, for those that are struggling with sleep. This one's really great for those anxious moments. And this is the one that was given to me when, I was coming in and I was angry from having to deal with a silly customer in that situation. And it worked really well to help keep me calm. Frankincense is known as the king of oils, and it will help to support overall calmness. One of my sister's dogs was struggling with, for those that are from Brisbane, we have intense storms that come through that they're huge and they're full on. And this little Jack Russell was struggling with freaking out every time. And my sister had been using the lavender peace oil with her to help calm her down, but she was still getting, shaking and drooling and all that. And so she started adding a drop of frankincense into her food each day. And the next time, I think it was about 3 weeks later, the next storm that came through, she really just lifted her ear and opened her eye at some thunder and kept sleeping. And there was no crazy drooling and shaking and everything. So that's in an animal. You can, if you've got those similar kind of issues for yourself and you're really needing to calm down, you can use it the same way. Add a drop to your water in the morning, and or even on the bottom of your tongue, underneath your tongue. You can put a drop there, and it helps to support really overall calming for the day. It's an amazing oil, and it actually will shine the light on the properties of different oils. So you can use it layered after another oil on the bottom of your feet or wherever, and it can help them to be more effective. It's fantastic. So this is some of the uses that the vets were using frankincense to support all sorts of things. It's got so much research with it as well. On Guard. Now this one, I know that there's someone in here particularly who was interested in using the oils for cleaning. This oil blend is known as the protective blend. It's great for immune support. You can use most of the oils for cleaning because they all have anti properties in them that will help to keep things clean. And if you know of, you've probably heard of superbugs that are kind of coming with, you know, antibacterial and antibiotics and all that kind of stuff that are creating superbugs. There's certain oils that these superbugs cannot live with, and these oils are able to get rid of these superbugs. And so we actually use the On Guard to help with fighting off any kind of germs and bugs and all that kind of stuff. I use it on my feet to help with boosting my immune system. I actually take it internally as well when I'm feeling something coming on. But you can spray your surfaces with a couple of drops of this in some water in a spray bottle, and it will help to disinfect the area. Plus they also have the other products that have the On Guard in them. So we actually use the cleaning concentrate in our salon as our antibacterial spray. That's what we disinfect everything with. And I know that a lot of the disinfectant sprays that are used in the animal industry are toxic, and they come with massive warnings on them. And it's not so much an issue for the animals because they're only there for a day. You know, if you're in a vet clinic, maybe a week, in a boarding kennel, a couple of weeks, but we're in there every single day, and we're the ones that are breathing it in and absorbing it on our skin. So you really need to be aware of the impact that can be having on you. So the On Guard Cleaner Concentrate has On Guard in it, which is amazing oil. And we use, I think it's about a capful in a spray bottle filled up with water. And that's what we spray everything with. They also have a foaming hand wash. So when you've got all that mucky animal yuck, they're just, you know, it's a bit disgusting. You can also use something that is going to have antibacterial qualities. That most of the antibacterial hand washes and things that you've got of access to from the shops have a product in it called Trisoclan, which has been recalled after about 10 years of being used because it causes cancer. So it's all well and great thinking these products are going to help to get rid of germs and everything, but they're also killing us in the process. So these are using pure natural oils in them as the base, and their antibacterial properties are often a lot better than what the natural product or the antibacterial type products have got in them. So it's another great option that you can use that's going to be much safer for you. And they smell amazing too. They've got cinnamon and clove in them, so they've got, and some citrus oils as well. They smell amazing. Wild orange I've already covered. Great for when you're feeling anxious. You can use it for your cleaning as well. Get sticky stuff off things. I use it in my cooking. It smells amazing. I use it in my water regularly. It helps really keep you calm too, and it's very energizing. So end of the day, if you're feeling, you know, it's 3 o'clock and you're feeling a bit low with energy, you can put some wild orange on or have some in your water, put it in your diffuser. Add some peppermint to it. It really lifts you up because peppermint's very invigorating, and it's a great way to help get you going again. Now, Citrus Bliss is one of the mood management oils, and that one is the invigorating blend, and we tend to use that a lot in those days when you're not feeling really motivated to be at work and doing what you need to do. Just helps get you going. It's got a vanilla smell to it, as well as the citrus. It's absolutely beautiful. It kind of makes my mouth water every time I smell it. Elevation is a joyful blend. So for those people who are feeling, really low and sad and often overwhelmed, I know that this is something that people in this industry do struggle with. This oil can be amazing to help bring some joy back into your life. It's amazing properties to it. Peppermint, great for keeping you cool. So often I'll put a drop in my hands with some fractionated coconut oil, the back of my neck, and it cools me down. It smells amazing. I use it in chocolate mousse, and it's just, it's amazing. Very invigorating, can help with any kind of muscle soreness. If you struggle with headaches, it can often help with headaches too. So can lavender. There's a tension blend that helps with tension headaches called past tense. There's lots of different uses for all the different oils. Any kind of digestive issues it can help with too. Lemon can stop bleeding. It doesn't sting because it's actually the rind that the oil comes from, not the juice. And I've used it before on myself to stop bleeding. It does not sting. Great for cleaning, gets rid of all those greasy kind of things off surfaces. That was great. If you get a sore throat, you can use it in your water as well. It's a great immune supporting one as well. Helps to detox your body. So if you put it in your water through the day, it can help to detox from all sorts of things. Ice blue, this is what I've talked about for, those muscle aches and pains that you get when you're working with animals. The strain on your back is often quite pleasurable, not. So this is a great one that comes in a rub as well. So it's like a cream. I actually use both. I'll use the oil blend first because it's very quick, intense relief, but it tends to dissipate quite quickly. So I'll put the oil blend on first and then follow with the rub. And I find that the rub's got a lot longer lasting support. So the two work really well together. The digestive blend, great for any kind of digestive support, but it will also help if you're feeling overwhelmed with everything going on around you emotionally. It will help you to be able to digest things that are coming to you from life. So using it as an emotional support is great. Any motion sickness too. So animals that are struggling with coming to and from appointments can find that is really supportive for them as well. Often adding the lavender to it is a good one because it calms them down as well. Helichrysum is a very precious oil and it can help stop bleeding immediately. So it's like a liquid sutures too. It helps the wounds to come together. I've used this on myself when I've had like a scratch or I've cut myself when I've been at work for whatever reason. It works really well with that. It is a really precious oil, so it is a more expensive one. I've only ever got mine for free through their rewards program. So it's an amazing product. Absolutely, it helps with internal bleeding and bruising and all that kind of stuff. So this is a dog that was using essential oils, or the dog wasn't, but they were using essential oils to help with a tumour lesion type thing. And this was 3 weeks that they were using frankincense, helichrysum, grapefruit and lavender. So it's ways that you can help with wounds as well. So it's really powerful. Eucalyptus, any kind of respiratory issues, great for that. When you're coming into winter or anytime you're coming down with something, it helps to open the airways. It's got a really fresh, clean smell, and a lot of people use eucalyptus oil that is not a pure oil. There's a well-known brand that someone who was having kind of reactions to using that started using doTERRA eucalyptus and found that it was not giving them the same reactions that they were getting from the other ones. So there's often things in oils that even have a good reputation that can be causing quite detrimental health effects for you. So great for insect repellents as well. Any kind of seasonal issues. If anyone struggles with, the change of seasons, lemon, lavender and peppermint, those 2 oils can help open your airways and get rid of all the muck in your eyes and sneezing and all that. It's just a couple of drops or 1 drop of each in your hands, inhale it, and it can help clear that up. This is a dog that had issues with mange, and it took a couple of weeks using the oils and had a really transforming change with the dog. So it's really powerful how you can use it for multiple things. You can also, if you've got issues with fleas in your environment, use the oils in a diffuser using very potent oils and do a flea bomb. So this is a lot of oils to be using in a diffuser, so you don't want to have any live animals, people or anything around, because it's going to be overwhelming, and you can do that to help to clear out if there's any kind of flea infestation that kind of is happening. Now there's lots of resources that are available to help you, because what some people will go is, oh yeah, I love this whole idea and I really want to go in, but it scares me because it's new and I don't know anything. That is where having someone that can help support you is really important, but you've also got resources that you can learn from as well. So all these resources are available. The top ones are, like there's 3 books on the top here for those that can't see it, that are generally related to human use of the oils, but they'll teach you about what the oils do, and you can use them once you do your research about which oils are safe to use on animals or with animals. You can transfer that knowledge onto the animals too. The bottom ones are in relation to using them with animals, and the animal desk reference is what I quoted before. It's about, looking at, I think it's about 600 pages of research from Dr. Shelton on using these therapeutic grade oils on animals. So it's a great little reference guide there. Actually, it's a big reference guide, but there's also support available from others that are using the oils too. So for those that are interested as well, there are options that you can purchase the oils, and doTERRA does a wholesale membership. And with the wholesale membership, there is absolutely no pressure or requirement on you to do what I'm doing, to share with anyone, to sell the products to anyone. It is simply a way to purchase the oils at the wholesale prices. So I know that, I'm not sure if we've got anyone international tonight, but these are available worldwide too. So there's other ways that you can access them if you're not from Australia listening in this evening. So the option with doTERRA is you can choose to build your own kit and start out with that, or you can choose one of their pre-selected enrollment kits. So what happens is, with the wholesale membership, you would normally pay $35, choose your oils, and you have access to wholesale prices for 12 months. And that gives you, access to everything that they sell, whether it's in Australia or the US, and you can access them for 12 months. And then you renew for $25 each year, but they send you a peppermint oil, which costs $25 anyway. So it's like you've got to buy peppermint once a year to keep access to wholesale. There's no minimum monthly orders or anything like that. You can just order when you want. So it's really I actually have the oils available for retail in my store. I used to sell a lot of them retail, but now I actually, once you've got a wholesale membership, you can do that. But I've found that a lot of people are more appreciative when they can have their membership and they can pay the same price as me as well. So there is the option that you can sell them and have this as a kind of a separate business as well. So these are the most popular options for starting. So to be honest, most of the animal industry people will tend to go for the Home Essentials kit. So this has 10 of the most popular oils in 15 ml bottles, except for the Ice Blue that only comes in 5 ml, because it comes with a free diffuser. And it gives you a lot of the main oils that you're going to use to support you and your staff and everyone as an initial start. And it's got a lot of the immune supporting ones there. So when you're coming down with something and everyone's coughing and sniffing, if you've only got emotional supporting oils, you don't have, On Guard and frankincense and tea tree and lemon and oregano, you're not going to have something that can help to boost your immune system. So that tends to be the most popular one. The Essential Kit with the Smart and Sassy has the same 10 oils, but they're in a 5 ml bottle. So it's like a sample starter. And so for less than half the price, you can get the Home Essentials kit that comes with the free diffuser and bigger bottles of oil. So that tends to be the most common option. But those who are really keen, I've had people that want to do the oil sharing kit because it gives you multiple oils that you can start retailing straight away or sharing if you feel that you want to go that way. Or it does give you the option, if you've got a bigger family or whatever, to really help to overhaul what's going on. So there's some of the options that are available. My suggestions, if you're not sure and you don't want to go for one of their kits, is to pay $35 and do something like, if you just want the supporting oils for emotions, is the Lavender Peace or Serenity Balance Lavender and a diffuser. So that can give you some real mood supporting oils to get you started. Or you go for the actual mood management kit, which has those 4 oils that I discussed before and the diffuser, and that can start to give you those balancing support for in there. But again, it doesn't have those oils that will help with other things. And to be honest, most people start with the home essentials and then go for the mood management oils. The next month they order those to help support them with emotions. At the moment, doTERRA has a promotion that if you do open a wholesale membership with 100 PV, so if I go back, if you have a look at these, everything has a dollar value. So if you look at the Home Essentials kit, it's $330, but it's 235 PV. That is, in doTERRA, they have everything's in points. It's like their internal currency because it's an international company. It gives them an internal point value. So this month, if you have a 100 PV enrollment order, you'll actually get 50 product credit points into your account. That's like giving you $65 to $80 free next month that you can use towards any products that you want. So it's a really great incentive that goes till the end of the month. So there's only a couple of days to take advantage of that. So it's a really good option to have that available if you wanted to add some extra oils that support different things. And I really haven't covered all the oils that are available. They do have the option. So if you are really keen, but you don't want to, you're kind of overwhelmed, there's so much options, you don't have to get everything to start with, because with your membership, you can order whenever you want. And some people will then, well, a lot of people choose to go on the loyalty rewards program, which is optional. You can order every month and start to earn points on every order that you do. That gives you free product credits towards other products that you can order later. So totally flexible, cancel anytime, and best thing ever because I get free stuff all the time. It's awesome. And when you've got your membership, you've got the option of bringing the oils into your life and supporting you and living doTERRA. So you're using the oils, you're on their loyalty rewards, maybe you start to bring in the shampoos, conditioners, change things at home and really benefit from them. You can, in most cases, once you start seeing the benefits from the oils, you probably can't help but at least tell somebody about it, and you can start sharing, and you'll actually get commissions coming in that can start to cover the cost of your oils. So you can start to get them covered plus extra. And then those like me that really see that this is an amazing opportunity to help support other people and yourself, you can actually build a business with this that can multiply and supplement and multiply and even replace your income. So there are options that are available. There's absolutely no pressure from anyone that you need to do anything, but those options are there if down the track you decide that it's something you want to do. So in regards to support, I personally will offer support on using your oils, whether it's for personal use, using them with animals, etc. I've got Facebook groups that help to train you or educate you on how to use them. If you are interested in doing things business-wise, I'll help to support that as well. But if someone else has actually invited you along to tonight's webinar, please go and speak to them about how they can support you, because that's what it's about, finding the person that's going to support you best through your journey as well. And the person that's introduced you to tonight should be the one that helps support you along the way. So I'm going to open it up now for any questions that anyone's got. But if anyone has to go, you've got my contact details on this screen. So for those that are listening, my email is info@vitalia.com.au. My phone number is 0403 159 571. If you're ready to start and you know what you want to order, you can actually go and do it yourself through www.joinvitalia.com.au, and that's my personal website that'll take you through, and you'll actually order through doTERRA through me, and you'll get my support with using the oils as well. So I'll then connect you in with all the support through our groups and everything, and you'll also get a wellness consult where we'll go through and tailor a plan for you and using the oils to support you. So I'll open it up now, see if there's any questions. I know that that's a lot of information, so you're probably all going, oh my goodness, that's overwhelming. So let me know, is there any questions that I can help anyone with?
Can you hear me, Rita?
I can. Kimberly, yes?
Yes. I'm just wondering with the On Guard, so you can use that on your tables and in the tub, I guess, train dogs.
Yep. Yep. So
Um, is there
I,
something,
sorry?
I was just going to say, is there something that I can use to replace, at the moment I use an Oster, like a blade spray, which really stinks.
Yeah, I've used them previously before. Are you wanting it to disinfect?
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I actually do, and I can't remember who suggested this, but I actually wash my blades in the On Guard, and I will dry them and then I blow dry them and oil them. So I don't actually use any of those sprays at all.
Okay. Yep.
You've got to make
Cool.
sure that they're totally dry in that situation though, because you don't want to rust them.
Get rust. Yep.
Yeah.
No worries.
But yeah, you can get rid of, I don't have anything like that. I've got oil in my, like as in lubricating oil, but yeah, I don't
Yep.
have anything that is going to kill me.
Okay. And that's just the one that you make up from the concentrate.
Yeah, that's what I use. I've got that in a spray bottle
Yep.
that I think it's about a cap full in, I think it's 500 mils. I can't remember exactly. It's at work. So
Yep.
that
Okay.
cleaning concentrate will make up 18 bottles of spray. So it's actually really cost effective. I think it comes down to like $1.50 or maybe $2 or $3 or whatever for a spray each time you make it up in a new bottle.
Okay. Wow. That's good.
And it's not going to kill you.
Yep.
Obviously,
And I'm sure it smells way better.
Oh yeah, and I had a cat that came in with ringworm that I didn't realise had ringworm until I started blow drying it. So that was awesome.
Yep.
And I sprayed myself all over with On Guard spray. I sprayed everything with that, and I haven't got ringworm. And this cat had a massive ringworm that would have had spores everywhere, and it's taken I think it's like 2.5 months for it to get rid of the ringworm through the vet. So I didn't get it, and no other cat that's been in the salon has had issues because I sprayed everything with it afterwards.
Yep. Awesome.
So I've just had Chloe ask me, what's the best way to use using a mobile salon? Is there a small enclosed space? So I have a few people that are using them in a mobile salon, and they will actually use a diffuser. They'll take a diffuser into the mobile trailer. In a lot of cases it's a trailer, or I've got people that use them in one of the vans as well. So they've got a small diffuser there. Some people will actually, if you've got a clipper vac, so I use a clipper vac, you can actually put a drop of oil in on a cotton ball and stick it in your clipper vac, and you'll get the smell going through, or on the back of your dryer filter, and you can help to get the oil smell through there, or even just putting drops on cotton balls on your body as well is another way, because it will kind of diffuse into around the animals as well. Did that help answer that for you, Chloe?
It's 5, so then it should then go to the whole thing.
Yes, okay, good. But yeah, there's little diffusers you can use, and if you're in a very small environment, I would only be using like maybe 1 or 2 drops in a diffuser, and it wouldn't be a really potent oil. Like I wouldn't be using oregano or something that's, really strong and overpowering. I'd be using, lavender. You could use a couple of drops, balance, maybe one of lavender, and help keep that really calm environment happening without overwhelming you and also the animals that you're with. And in a lot of cases, I'm assuming that you've at least got a window in that situation, or something that can be a little bit open, or an air conditioner or something like that. Hopefully a fan at least, that will help keep the air movement as well. So that's another way that you can help use them for that. Any other questions?
Yep. I just have a small room, so it's probably less than 3 meters by 3 meters.
Yep.
And I have a sliding glass door.
Yep.
So in the winter, I do have that completely shut, but I have got quite a strong exhaust fan in there. So if I had that going, that would be enough to would that be enough, do you think, to kind of
be concerned.
air moving?
No, I wouldn't be concerned at all. That would be fine. And again, like I said, I wouldn't be, if you're in a really enclosed, confined space, I wouldn't be using the oils that are known that you should avoid with animals. So don't use things like oregano or thyme or like the ones like citrus oils. If you've got cats in there, don't be diffusing citrus oils in a really small grooming van, if that makes sense. But in that 3x3 size is actually, it's not tiny, it's like the size of a bedroom. So it's actually okay size, if you know what I mean.
Yep. Okay.
And they're only in there for what, an hour or two, or you know.
Yeah.
I've been asked to use oils as perfume sprays. I personally don't, but I know people that do. I did use a spray when we were doing dogs. When we had dogs that were anxious with the dryer, we would be using a spray, and it was just water with, I think it was, I can't remember how big the spray bottle was. I haven't done dogs for like 8 months, 11 months. It's nearly a year. Sorry. I haven't, we made a spray bottle up that had balance and lavender in it, 10 drops of each in water to help calm them down after they've had their bath for their blow dry. We found that was really effective, but one of the training that I went to, it was probably about maybe even 10 years ago now, grooming wise, someone had done a survey with over 100 or maybe it was 200 or 300 of their clients, and they found that they didn't actually like their dogs coming home smelling like anything. So we stopped doing that a while ago, actually doing a perfume spray. But yeah, you can definitely make them. And there's ones that can help with supporting, manky bits in coats and all sorts of stuff. So you can definitely do it for that question. So yes, I know people that do. Any other questions? No?
I was just one more. With the vets that we're using, can you hear me?
Yep. Sorry, my phone just had an alarm go off.
That's fine. The vets that we're using, the oils topically, like on the tumour on the toe, were they diluted or just straight?
I don't know. That is also an acute situation. So in acute situations and with using certain oils, some oils can be applied neat. But I am never going to advocate that to anyone because there's skin sensitivities and all sorts of things that can happen, and everyone's different and every animal's different. I honestly don't know. I'm going to guess that particularly the toe one, I would guess that it was not diluted. Because lavender is very, very mild, and most people are totally fine having it on without dilution. But I'm not going to tell you to go and do it undiluted.
Yeah, no, it was just, I can't see me using it in that situation. I was just curious as to whether they had diluted it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Okay. All right.
Well, hopefully that has given you all some information. Like I said, this has honestly become something that I think everybody needs to know about, because a lot of the people that I've helped along the way have been absolutely transformed. And I'll drop some names in here. I don't know whether you even know a lot of these people, but there's Michelle Auld, there's Sarah Warner, trying to think of other people that are in the grooming groups, Lauren Novak, who else is in there? There's heaps of it. Lexi Goldsmith, I don't know whether she's on tonight or not. So there's lots of people that are starting to use them and are getting really great results that have seen that. And for those cat groomers as well, Danelle German, who actually trained me in America, uses doTERRA as well. So there's heaps and heaps of people that are now using them to support themselves, because they work. And I know that there's a lot of people out there that are struggling with emotional issues that these oils can help support. Like, they can literally change your life. And if you go back to the Facebook event that this is in, there's a video in there that someone posted last week that I shared, who has been struggling with anxiety and all sorts of things. and has totally transformed her life by using these oils. And there's a video of what she does to use them. So, you know, like being able to at least get up each day and not feel overwhelmed by everything, I think this is really important. So hopefully it's given you guys something to think about. And look, if you've got questions, I'm happy to answer any questions, whether it's now, you can call me, send me an email. The great promo that doTERRA was extended until the end of this month. So you do have the option still to get those 50 points, which is like $65 to $80 that you can buy anything you want. So just make sure that's done by the 30th. And I can help anyone that's ready to start if you're not sure what you want, or I'll talk to you about the best oils to start with to support you, because everyone's different with what they need and what they need support for. So, and to be honest, this is something that can change your life in more ways than one, but it's actually fun. Like, you start to learn something new, and it's once you get going, you'll end up loving it. So, yeah. Any other questions at all?
No, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No.
Thanks, Rita.
Thanks, Rita. That's great. That's given me a lot more to go on now. So
excellent. I'm glad you're able to join.
I think. Yeah. No, thanks very much.
You're welcome. All right, so I will end this. Unless, if anyone's got any questions, all my contact details are up on the screen. I'd love to help you. Like, honestly, it's my passion now. This is amazing. So I'd love to connect with you. So feel free to email, text me, phone me, message me through Facebook. I'll be up tonight still. Or, you know, go ahead and do something yourself through the web link that's there. So I will end this now, and if anyone has any other questions, feel free to contact me.
Thanks, Rita.
Alrighty. Otherwise, you can just leave the conversation as well. So, all right. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Hi, Claire. Are you still there? Oh.